Hello and thanks for joining us. This is The Survey. The Survey is a current affairs program of the UHTv Television Naija, which we use to gauge your views or to collect your opinions over burning topical issues in the country and in the polity. I am Obidi Marco, your host. Today, we want to look at the Asuu strike. The federal government and the academic staff union of universities have been in a deadlock, and they seem not to have agreed on the conditions for our universities and other tertiary institutions to finish. Now, Asuu is on strike, and federal government is not yielding, and the citadels are under lock and chain. And we went around town to sample the views and opinions of people concerning these developments. Now, relax and listen to what people had to say about the Asuu strike.
Asuu is on strike because the federal government has refused to sign and implement the 2009 agreement. By the way, the 2009 agreement is an agreement between Asuu and federal government to the effect that it will be reviewed every 3 years. So this 2009 agreement we are talking about should have been reviewed in 2012. But as we speak, the federal government has not signed the reviewed component. It took Asuu all these long years to get this agreement renegotiated in May 2021. And after that renegotiated agreement in 2021, the federal government has refused to sign and implement it. And that is what we are asking for. Another thing is that the UHTv is a payment platform that the federal government has refused to adopt. They prefer IPs to UHTv. With all the failings of IPs, they are still hanging on to IPs. IPs does not recognize third-party deduction. IPs does not recognize the unique administration of a university setup. And Asuu went in and developed UHTv and asked the federal government to adopt it. Federal government has not adopted it. Instead, federal government is trying to get some integrity tests on UHTv. And these integrity tests have revealed impressive results, impressive scores. But federal government has refused to migrate to the payment platform called UHTv, which is homegrown. But IPs has not undergone any integrity test. So here we are with strike on our hand, telling the federal government to sign and implement the 2009 agreement, adopt the UHTv payment, and of course, mainstream the EAA payment into our salary. EAA means Earned Academic Allowance, which is paid to the university staff, university academic staff, on account of the excess workload they are involved in. So this is where we are, trying to let the federal government sign and implement the 2009 agreement and then run the university as a citadel of learning, whereby the products of the university will be comparable to any product in any university in the world. So in a nutshell, that is the reason why we are on strike. And we hope that the federal government will see reason, sign and implement the 2009 agreement, and make the university education in Nigeria produce graduates that can compete with any other graduate in the world. The federal government brought up another committee for their so-called renegotiation out of their lack of commitment to keeping agreements. So, to that extent, we cannot take their word for it. And you made reference to the federal government saying that there's no money. That, of course, belies the spending behavior of the federal government. What we are suffering is an inverted priority by the government. If the federal government can get their priority right, if the federal government can commit themselves to the 26% of their budget to education, this problem of lack of funds will be a thing of the past. Well, we don't believe them. The money is there, but they are not investing enough in our education. As Asuu members are a responsible organization, we are on the side of making things work again. The students should understand us. We are making the university education for which all of us subscribe to worth its name. We are making sure that our youth get the best skills, competencies from their academic endeavors. They should be on the side of Asuu. They should be on the side of Asuu. I always say that an average soldier hates war, but there are things worth fighting for. And that is, we are not strike mongers. We are fighting for the university autonomy. We are fighting for the revitalization of the university. We are fighting for improved conditions of service for those of us who are engaged in the university system. And in the end, it will translate to a good working environment for those who call themselves in Nigerian public university. So the students should be wise enough to be on the side of Asuu, who are clamoring for the right things to be done in Nigerian university education.
Yeah, Asuu strikes over the years, not today. He's been there all the time. And people have been asking why. If you mention Asuu, the first thing is strike. That's what strikes you. That these people have come again. Students know us more as Asuu and strike. Well, the problem has been that over the years, government has not really paid attention to the priority that universities normally occupy. And each time we have any agreement, seems that when the strike is over, it looks like everything is all right. But government soon forgets any agreements, any memoranda. It's been a recurring decimal over the times. Now, it's about funding, basically. And when you talk about funding, it's not just about the salaries and wages of academics and the administrative staff. It's about the whole functioning of a university system. And when you come to university, you know that it just doesn't end at paying salaries and wages. There are so many issues involved in running a university, and each time we keep begging. So Asuu, as a union, has always tried to remind the government and the society that there are these problems that are there. And it seems that it's only through strikes that government tries to even listen. And each time we call off a strike, government goes back. So the problem of funding is holistic. There are so many things, just like I said, on a daily basis. You run the system. There are issues of welfare, quite all right. But it's a daily kind of spending. And so we talk about revitalization, we talk about stabilization fund, and we talk about end academic allowances. These things have been mentioned. And it seemed that over time, we thought it would have been over when Asuu was asked to propose a solution. And we had this TED fund that is yielding a lot of money. And yet, in spite of TED fund existing with all the funds, it looks like the problem that TED fund should be solving is only scratched through some constructions, some structures that are put there. So we want a situation where government and Asuu will sit down. All the agreements they have had, government will sit down and look at the whole issues. Now, in the recent one, there seems to be a disagreement over payment system. You hear a lot about Asuu talking about university transparency and accountability system. Government is talking about their own IPs, which is a civil service kind of imposition on us. That all our monies will now go into government purse. We can't run the system with that. There's university autonomy, there's freedom. And if a university is put into government house, where they now pay all salaries from government house, the bursar doesn't even know what our salaries will be like. So that is the issue of structure. It looks like the Nigerian government wants to control the universities to the extent that they feel that if you have a sabbatical or you have an adjunct, visiting professorship like some of us who are helping some other universities, they say you're a ghost worker here, that you're working in different places. So with the kind of structure of payment, Asuu says no, a university is different. It's not the same thing. If somebody is working in a place, he cannot earn a double salary somewhere. He can only get some allowances for the job he's rendering, and it's on need. That's why they even had to raise the disengagement or retirement age of professors to 70 years, because they think we are needed up to that level. So if you are needed, it means you are necessary elsewhere. And we have this issue that our job description is not just teaching in the classroom. It's about research and it's about community service. So when we move out and try to render service, we're supposed to be paid for that. But not to say we're having double or triple salaries because you find us elsewhere. So that payment thing has been a recurring problem. As soon as government can understand and appreciate the unique nature of our working environment, then that will be easily solved. So I think that the problems are associated with the solutions, or the solutions are inside the problems. Simple understanding of the system of university, simple understanding that funding is not just meant to go to the pockets of the, the staff, and then that it's a general thing, that you have the structures, you also have the human beings. So I think as soon as we can have that understanding, everything will get fixed up.
My name is Cynthia Chigozie. I'm a student of Imo State University. I really want to beg Asuu, please, people should call off this strike, like it's affecting me. I'm supposed to graduate last month. See me, I'm still in Imo State University. This is my 6th year. How many years am I going to read education biology? Something like 4 years. I've already read it for 6 years. It's not cool. And I'm also doing business. I'm training myself. Without students, I cannot eat because nobody to buy my market. Please, Asuu, please call off this strike. We're really begging you. Federal government, please. People should negotiate with Asuu so you can call off this strike. We are begging you, we the students of Imo State University. I'm on their behalf, I'm begging you to please call off this strike. Thank you.
Okay, so the Asuu strike is affecting my family personally, because I have somebody in the university studying software engineering, and she got admission right by COVID, and it's been a roller coaster for her. It's been almost 3 years and nothing has been achieved. Students are being forced to learn within 1 month, and they're not learning anything. I am doing a postgraduate studies, and I will tell you that I have paid my fees twice, heading to the 3rd time, because we went from COVID, we paid our fees, we've studied for just 7 months, and now there is the Asuu strike, and we're still going to pay another fees by September. And guess what? We're still in 2nd semester. We're not done with coursework, we've not done our project, and because I lecture, I will tell you that I don't know how to strike the balance. I'm being affected as a postgraduate student and a guardian who is training a university student. But then I am also in support of the Asuu strike, because I know that the government cannot be owning the one institution that holds the country together while prioritizing irrelevancies. So, lecturers are leaving every day. Lecturers are getting remote jobs abroad. Some are leaving the country completely. And you don't want to prioritize these people. So at the end of the day, who is going to take care of the workforce in Nigeria when these people decide to give up on the system? Nobody. The president is not going to come and teach. The governors are they're not even qualified to do it. So who is losing? They are losing. Let's talk about IPs, because IPs is one of the reasons why we are on strike. There are people that have been given jobs for 2 years who have been working and they have not been paid. I have been working since last year and have not been paid for over 4 months. Why? There's a problem with capturing. Asuu IPs has refused to come to the southeast to capture people. There are people in Unizik I have colleagues in Unizik who have worked for 2 years and have not been paid. IPs has not gone there to capture them. I come from a family of academicians. My father retired from the federal parastatal. He was a bossa in Futo. How many times has he been paid his pension? He was paid his gratuity in bits. My mother-in-law, as of December, some money was taken from her salary. These people take money from people's salaries and nobody's talking about these things. How do you wake up and take 40,000 naira from a salary that is barely enough for the month? How do you wake up and expect people to keep working and you're not paying them? And things are getting worse. So who should our loyalty lie with? Should it lie with the work or should it lie with our bag? Should it lie with our money? So even if I have to stay for this strike for 2 years, to be very honest, I would rather hold on for that master's to finish later and for me to be paid than for me to be doing a master's that I would use in the same institution where I'm not getting paid. So as much as it's affecting my family, I'm in support of the strike. It's already affected my decision. The government itself has already affected my decision with the strike. And as much as a lot of people want to sugarcoat it, this government is a disappointment. It is a shame that they have bastardized the educational system to this point. And if they think that money is going to buy them something again in 2023, they are wrong. Each and every one of them who are aware of what is happening and who are unbothered, each and every one of them who are aware that the masses are going through hell and they don't want to do anything about it, they would rather send their children abroad to study because they can afford it. They have gotten to the point where, despite the fact that people are hungry, they would rather remain hungry than vote for them.
Okay, this Asuu strike, well, it's very nice. I love it. I think they should prolong itself to like 3 years. Because what I'm seeing now, the government, they are not serious. You understand? So I think they should prolong it so we keep on working and making our money. And the Yahoo boys will be pressing and be making money. Because I have seen that government, they are not serious for this development that is coming up to us now. So I think the Asuu strike is okay for me. They should continue. Me, as I did like this, I don't even tire for school. Because my course now 5 years, but it's getting to 7 years. So as I did like this, if school don't tire me, yes, I feel they work. If they increase the strike, maybe they do one. At least as they increase, I go they work, they get money. And when they call off the strike, I go come, run my papers, find my way, travel abroad. So the strike, they pay me for body. May they continue.
This Asuu strike is really affecting us negatively, especially me. For everyone, it's really affecting us very bad. Imagine when you go to school to graduate just for 4 years and you're staying 5, 6, 7, even 8 years. It's really bringing us back home. It's really bringing us back. For me and for other people, it's bringing us really, really bad. If we take these 4 years to learn handwork, at least we would have something by ourselves to do. But we try to invest it in school. But yet, the federal government, the school authorities, they are just frustrating us students. And it's not nice. I'm angry. I'm so pained, like, I was supposed to be my final year, but no, I'm still in year 3. Why? Because of Asuu strike. Asuu strike. Asuu strike. I am tired of Asuu strike. Every time that they are owing this teacher, this lecturer, this government, these people money, let them pay up and allow us go to school. This government, their children they are schooling outside the country, but we are here in Nigeria. They are delaying our academical section. They are doing everything. If you're meant to graduate when you're 21 years old, you grade age of 25. Why? It's bad. This Asuu strike needs to stop. Let the government fix the country. Our academic system, the government, the school authorities, everybody should fix this Asuu strike. I am tired. The government should fix this school and academical situation because education is actually dying in Nigeria and gradually with all this Asuu strike. Thank you.
For me, I like the way the strike is now. Because already we have experienced COVID-19. My course is 5 years, and the government, they're not doing anything about it. Since 2016/2017, we entered school. They said we are going to graduate 2022. Up till now, course of 5 years will now become 7 years. Imagine, and plus strike. How do you expect the student to be serious? Meanwhile, strike will add to his own years of studies. So for me, if government don't want to settle the Asuu people, they should continue. Anytime they call off the strike, we'll carry our block brain and come. Because they will not expect us to stay in the house for 3, 4 months, 5 months and still be doing well, expecting us to perform excellence in our academics. Most of the students will not be reading because everybody now is money-centered. So this Asuu strike, if government don't want to call off the strike and we should continue like this, they should expect us not to be doing good too. Thank you.
This Asuu strike that is on board now, honestly, I don't know where and who to portion the blame. Is it the government? For me, the government should wake up. It is high time all these things will stop. All the time, either it is this strike or the other one. Nigeria killing education. The government is killing education as far as I'm concerned. Because you can't tell me that with all this 6-month strike, an undergraduate, maybe we graduate within this. What is it? Did the child complete the scheme? What they are supposed to complete? Very soon, when they call back now, what they will do in 1 year, they do it in 6 weeks. That is very bad. It's killing the education in our country, and this makes it that when you graduate them, many of them will come out to write an application they cannot write. Getting an application, they look for somebody to write for them. Why? Because everything is left behind. Really, I don't like the strike. I don't like it. The government should look into it. Get the demands of the lecturers, whatever they're asking, they should look into it before education is in a mess.
Asuu is on strike for over 1 month now. The children are all in their parents' houses. Some have gone out from their parents' houses without parents knowing, because it's not all parents that know about this Asuu something. And this thing is trying to be a tradition to this country, which is very, very wrong. How can people be working and you promise them? You keep on giving promises which are not fulfilled. How can you expect somebody to be working without getting the benefits? After suffering and reading, you get qualifications, this certificate, the other certificates, yet you don't get them. While those in the house of this, house of that, they get all the monies that Nigerian government get. Whereas those people that are supposed to take the money, they don't have them. We are not happy. We, the parents, are not happy. Students will stay. There is a limited number of years that a parent will have in mind when taking the child to school. But unfortunately, you see that a child that's supposed to undergo 4-year course, 3-year course, 7-year course, you see them staying for 5 more years added to those years. How come do that? Children, they loiter here and there. It is seriously paining us. We cannot say this is the time my daughter or my son is coming out from school. And this has made most of the students to think running out from this our country to other countries where they will have the stipulated years they will read and then do something. You don't have jobs. The parents that have jobs, no payment. When they pay the money, peanuts. After suffering to be a professor, to have your master's degree, to have your PhD, to read this and do that, at the end, nothing happens. Please, government, please, if it is the president's office that this problem is coming from, President, please help us out. Talk to these people. Tell them to do what they are supposed to do. Let our children be saved from these pains and parents be saved from these pains. Please. Thank you.
Now the strike onye ga ejigbo nsogbu because mgbe school dey on anyị na-anweta our benefit and our returns here. So the strike agbara kemgbe shori ha ya ahụ ma make everybody affect here. So ore ha ma na arịọ say federal government biko nye aka made the strike last aka ebe na-erekwa mma cause on the stop too much. Mgbe agbabe strike anyị na-agbata ejigbo ego I na about like 5,000, 6,000, but came up about strike. I need you allow 2,000, 1,500. Like a time I had I bought a came to run on a front gate 1,000. Every go the thing my guy that's with the guy. So I know the government happy ko me better. Whatever you join wash try school bag.
This Asuu strike is affecting us badly. Normally, customer used to full here, but now everywhere is dry. You hardly get customer. Even if you get it, they would like to reduce money for you. That's how it is here. Let government call off the strike. Let students come back. It's affecting us, please.
This Asuu strike is bringing us down in business because when you think that you make it for maybe 2 months, 3 months on selling your goods, they will say that they call this Asuu strike on again. The money that you are having in your hand will finish. You will eat them finish again. You finish eating them before they will start school again. You start afresh. So every year you go up, you go down, you go up. It's not good for us doing business here. It's not good. Even for our own children too, it's not good because we have already paid for their hostel rent. For our children, they have paid for their hostel rent. Every year the money will go. Next year we'll pay again. It's not good. Let them just fix this Asuu strike so that parents will be settled. Parents will know that they will do it 4 years and their children will be okay and they will rest. They have messed education up entirely. Even this government of Imo State, this government of federal government, I don't know what to call them. They are just, I don't know. Let just God please help us in this country because it's too much.
Any lad is bad. Any lad is bad. I have has go. I'm talking make I call all the strike. Come school week a lot. Can we quick I have my share before.
I say my biko. I call why I be why I don't know. I could go live. I don't know Mbatangala. Get chayam needed. But it's since Sabra strike. Rebel, the Quambuaka, Tembo Toto, Garalushima Garaton. Bazime school, only am now near the government, I'm to a cameo. Call why. Castra can we get person. Call happy dopa. School they put on a share. Can you repair? I am sure.
The strike is affecting our business so bad. No more students are want to buy from us. Every two will stay for money till night. Nobody will ask us. If somebody should call, 1 or 2 persons will just come throughout the whole day. We'll go home with nothing. So this strike is affecting us so badly. So please, government should do something about it. They should call off the strike so that we, the individuals, can be able to sell our goods and be happy also. From this business, we use this business to feed our family and to feed ourselves. So they should help us and call off this strike. We are pleading with them. We are pleading with the Asuu government to help us call off the strike so we can do our business back fully.
Actually, at the first instance, I'm a mechanical engineering student, year 2 in Federal Polytechnic, Nekedi. Though we are not among the Asuu strike, sure. But other schools that are affected, we are losing customers on daily basis because of students are no longer around to work their phones and other things. So people that are supposed to graduate this year in universities, I don't think they can graduate this year. It will be by next year, and it's not supposed to. So we are calling on the government to do something about this Asuu strike so that life can go back to normal. For instance, here I am now, I'm a part-time student, so I normally work in the morning and go to school in the evening, but you can see I have no work in my desk to do this morning because nobody is around. Everybody have gone back to their places.
Wow, and that was the views of people concerning the Asuu strike. You can see we went round across board, the students, the business operators around the universities, parents, and all everybody, and you could see what their reactions are. And we are joining them to appeal to the government, the federal government especially, to quickly resolve this issue. Our students have been at home for a long time, and you know, of course, that an idle hand is the devil's workshop. Let's not convert our young people to the devil's workshop. Let's bring them back to school. We're pleading with the federal government. We're also pleading with the Academic Staff Union of Universities. If it's possible to shift grants, please do. Let's get our schools back on track. Let me remind you to please subscribe to our YouTube channel at Universal Heritage Television Naija so that we can be bringing you updates of our future broadcasts. Thank you for watching. I'm Obidi Marco, your host.